Hey, 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 y'all. We are back again. It's your girl, Sherry Thomas Clay, one half of Keeping Up with Henry and Sherry. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? If you have not, I need you to stop right now. Hit the pause button, run over and hit that bell that says subscribe. Did you know it's free 99? It don't cost you nothing. Okay, now that you're back, come on, come on, come on. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. But look, y'all, I am excited today because I have a special guest. Y'all see my special guest over here? This is my mother in love, the Mrs. Landa Clay Gamble. So today we're going to talk and discuss about how to support family members who are dealing with or living with the awful disease of dementia, Alzheimer's. And she's going to share with us some nuggets that can be beneficial to you. I personally have dealt with this, caring for my mom who dealt with that disease. And y'all, it's not easy. It's not easy on the person living with it, and it's not easy on the family members or the caregivers because we just don't know what to do. And had my family had some support like Mama Landa over here knows what to do, I think we would have saved a few gray hairs. So I want her to take a moment and introduce herself and tell us about her business that she has that supports family members and caregivers with this awful disease. So, Mama Linda, take it away.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
I am Landa Clay Gamble, the Director and CEO of Royal Adult Day Services. We are located at 6212 Memorial Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Okay.
We have been there for 7 years. We offer many types of therapies for persons living with dementia.
Okay.
I started this organization in honor of my mom,
Oh, wow.
who deceased, who transitioned with Alzheimer's about 13 years ago, 11 to 13 years ago. Um, there was no place for her to go to in Portsmouth, Ohio. Shout out to Portsmouth, Ohio.
P-Town.
There was no place for her to go to get any type of stimulation or engagement or socialization.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to start one in Ohio and successfully. And I vowed that when I moved to Georgia, that I would start one in her honor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what we did. This has been started in the honor of my mom.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing. And because you didn't have anywhere for her to go, um, that led you to start Royal.
Yes.
Now, Royal, now what is this for the caregiver or for the person living with dementia? Who does Royal actually service?
Actually, both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, we
okay.
provide respite for the caregivers,
Okay.
those who have to work, those who just need a break, sometimes from caregiving.
Right, right. Because
So,
it can be hard.
yes, just from that tedious task of caring all day for someone. So we provide respite, and we also provide an array of programs for persons living with dementia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
such as cognitive stimulation therapy.
Okay, tell us about that. What does that mean? Because
Okay.
everybody don't know what that
Cognitive
means.
stimulation therapy is a intervention that was really started in the UK. We received our information and our training through St. Louis University Geriatric Center. Cognitive stimulation therapy is an intervention for persons with mild to moderate Alzheimer's. It has been proven to heighten quality of, increase quality of care, quality of life, but also to reduce the agitation and different things, the social behaviors that go along with dementia.
Now, talking about social behavior, one thing I know that we dealt with when my mom first started showing the signs, because we didn't know that's what it was. Like, it took a minute. The doctors were saying she was having seizures, and I was like, this ain't no seizure. I'm not a
Right.
doctor, but I know
Right.
I know what it ain't. Pardon that language, but I know what it ain't.
Right.
But with that, what are some things that tips you can give a caregiver to help them? Like, I know from myself and my brother and my kids too, when we were dealing with my mom, we went through the struggle of trying to change her mind.
Mhm.
Like, if
Mhm.
she was saying it was Wednesday, but it was Sunday, we was trying to make her know, no, it's not time to go to church. This is,
Right.
So what can you tell a person who's going through that? Because it's new. This is something you
Sure.
can't prepare
Sure.
for.
Sure.
Tell us how you can tell somebody how to cope with that.
Well, let me say first of all, one of the things we do with cognitive stimulation therapy is there's a session on there called reality orientation.
Okay.
So when they come to Royal, we go through the date. Like today is August the 1st. We tell them that. Today is Wednesday. We talk about the weather. We talk about different things to stimulate their brain. So I would say the first thing that I would recommend for you to do, if anybody that's going through this type of thing, is to get them in some kind of environment where they can socialize.
Okay.
What people don't realize is they can still learn. They enjoy talking about their past, things they used to do.
Right.
At Royal, we have biologists, we have social workers, we have
Wow.
psychologists, we have teachers, we have people who love to talk about what they used to do. So we take their past, use their working memory, and bring that to the present.
Now wait a minute. Talk about their past can be dangerous because they might have did something that nobody didn't know they
And
did.
and they tell us those things many times.
I bet they do.
They share a lot of things with us that stay in the room. So what goes on at Royal stays at Royal.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, so we do, but the main thing is we keep them engaged and stimulated. So I
Okay.
would say the first thing that for caregivers is to get your loved one in a place, in an environment where they can feel, number one, safe, and
Right.
also where they can be socially intertwined with other people,
Yeah,
socially
cause
engaged and mentally stimulated.
right, and you know what? I can see that because a lot of times people think that if they just sit them in a chair, they're okay, and they just trying to keep them out of their way,
Right,
and that's not.
right.
And
No,
to me, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dealing with a patient with dementia, Alzheimer's, it's like caring for a toddler. You don't just sit a toddler in a chair. You do
right.
things to help them
Sure,
learn to grow. Is that
sure.
right? Do you agree with that?
Most definitely. We have music therapy.
Okay.
Sometimes we even do math.
Oh wow.
We do different things that will stimulate them and where they can learn new things. We have computers in front of them, with iPad,
Oh
where they can
man.
learn how to use the computers.
Oh yeah, that's good.
We do many things that they enjoy doing. We
Wow.
take what they used to do, bring that to what they can do now. Like we talk about things like some of them the games they used to play are much different than the games that we
Right,
play
right, right,
today.
right, right.
So we may talk about hopscotch. We used to do hopscotch. We used to play jacks. We used to do those kinds of things. But then we say, okay, what are children doing today? How is that different? So there we're using their long-term memory, which they still
Right,
have,
right.
and bringing them to their short-term memory,
Wow.
where they're able to actually share with us the things that they did in the past.
That is good.
So
That is
it's
good.
it's a two-way learning at
Right,
Royal.
right.
They teach us, we teach them.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Now, a lot of like I keep saying it, Alzheimer's dementia.
Right.
Alzheimer's dementia. What is the difference? Because so many don't know. What is the difference?
Dementia is actually the loss of cognitive functioning, such as you losing your memory, reasoning, and other behavioral things that affect your activities of daily living.
Okay.
That's the umbrella. And there are types of dementia, Alzheimer's being the most common.
Oh, wow.
And there are stats are showing us that the numbers are growing. There are 7 million Americans
Wow.
with Alzheimer's, and that number is growing as we speak.
And it definitely impacts our
Yes,
culture.
more
the
so than
African
any other
American.
culture, like any other disease.
Yeah.
And Alzheimer's is also the third leading cause of death.
Oh man.
So it's right next to heart disease and cancer. So we've got to get on board with doing things that we know to make it heighten their quality of living, and doing things that we know that will help us to prevent us from getting the disease,
And that those things could be like what?
such as a nutritious diet, eating properly,
Okay.
exercise,
Right. Okay.
social engagement,
Okay.
just staying active, learning new things, learn new languages, work on Sudoku, puzzles. Just do different things that will keep your mind active.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. I think one mistake we made with my mom, my dad passed away in 1995.
Mhm.
And I remember being adamant. You don't need no boyfriend. You don't need nobody. Not thinking that we were gone, my kids were gone. They left her by herself. And I saw the decline in her.
Sure.
So I encourage any family member, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish like that, because when I look back at it, I was selfish. I didn't want anybody to replace my daddy, but in essence, they couldn't replace my
Hmm.
daddy anyway. But that didn't mean my mom didn't need companionship, which I think would have helped her, to keep her mental capacity. I can't say it wouldn't have stopped it, but I think it would not have progressed as quickly as it did.
Hmm.
Um, so I just wanted to plug that in there.
And that's very true because one of the things that has been noted with dementia is when depression sets in,
Mm,
that causes dementia to progress more rapidly. And sometimes it helps people uh, to even notice that Alzheimer's is there because of dementia.
mm-hmm.
For example, when my stepdad passed, my mom became depressed.
Wow.
And so she just sat around, didn't want to go
Mm,
any place, didn't want to do anything. And so sometimes depression can bring on that dementia, that memory loss, and those Alzheimer's in
right.
particular. Yeah.
And you know what? I remember back in the day, there was a commercial about a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Hmm.
And we just took it as a cliche, but it's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
And that's what happens when we let, things happen, and it happens so fast you don't
Sure.
even realize it has happened.
And like I said earlier, people with dementia, they can learn. They
Right.
enjoy learning new things.
Right, right, right.
They enjoy tapping into that part of their brain that allows them to do things they have not done before. When we
Hmm.
do puzzles, we do crossword puzzles, you should see their faces light up.
I can only
And
imagine.
so it's just what we try to do is light up that part in their brain that may be dormant with doing activities and doing fun things.
Right.
And I mean, they let us in on a lot of their little secrets of the
I bet they
past,
do.
and that's okay. However, those and they give us so many tidbits of wisdom. I can tell you, and one in particular, Miss Dubose. There are so many things that she has said while she was there that I'll never forget,
Right.
and those things will help to guide my life in the future.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I'm
That's
just
good.
telling you, don't get it twisted. They still they may not have a memory, but they can still learn,
Still
and
learn.
they love to have fun.
And I'm
They
glad you
love to
said that
have
about
fun.
having fun, because I
Yeah.
know recently you did an event dancing for dementia.
Yes.
How do you involve that in your program?
Well, cognitive stimulation therapy, there's two components. There's the component where we do the social engagement portion, where we do the reality orientation,
Mm-hmm.
and we do the crossword puzzles. We actually have books that we use
Okay.
for that portion of it. And then we go to the exercise. Exercise is critical. So they do, we have two people who come in to do the exercising program with them. That's another 45 minutes.
Okay.
So and then they may throw the ball around and ask different questions, but they're moving their arms, moving their legs, and
Mm-hmm.
constantly staying active.
All right. And then
Yeah.
when they get to dance and they hear that
Oh, and
music.
dancing, yes. And you what you would not believe is all the songs that we sing. They remember every word to those old school songs.
Wow.
So and they get
Wow.
up and they dance. Some of them have their own way of dancing.
That's when that
But
past
but
come
that
back.
but but they enjoy it.
That's
They
what
enjoy
that's
it.
what
They're having
matters.
fun. Yeah,
That's
they're having
what
fun,
matters.
and they're exercising at the same time, and really have increasing their quality of life. That's so
Okay.
important.
Okay.
So important.
So let's talk about a typical day at Royal. That participant, what would a day at Royal look like for a participant?
Okay, they'll come in the morning. They get a continental breakfast,
Okay.
and then they do morning mingling, where they just sit around the table and they communicate, they talk. We have men and women.
Okay.
That's all. That also makes for a very interesting setting
I'm sure.
because some of them, I think, kind of think back to where they used to be,
Okay.
and they create new friendships.
Good.
And so
Good.
which is
Good.
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 So then after we do the morning mingling, we have a daily bread. We discuss different things in the daily bread. Then we do our cognitive stimulation therapy.
Okay.
After that, we have exercise, and that's on a typical Monday or a Wednesday. Then we also do music therapy.
Okay.
We have a person that comes in, plays the piano for them, where they actually sing. They do the singing, the exercise, cognitive stimulation therapy, and sometimes we do bingo. They love playing bingo.
Okay.
But throughout the day, and let me just say this, sometimes you just never know. They actually run the center.
I,
Although it's very structured,
uh-huh.
we allow them to do what they want to do. Some
Okay.
days they may not. We do painting, we do coloring, we do all types of arts and crafts. Some days they may want to do that. Some days they may not. So we have it so that it's individualized.
Okay.
Everything that
Okay.
we do, we make sure that they are happy, they're satisfied, and we keep everything done on a basis where they're doing what they pretty much want to do in a structured environment.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've said this so many times. I'm so proud to see you in your element with Royal. And I wish that my family had this support because it is really something that is needed. And I can see how the participants benefit. And I definitely, from a caregiver standpoint,
Yes.
know how beneficial it could be. So I know that Royal is a nonprofit. So with nonprofits, people can, you can write that off on your taxes. Tell us how we could donate, how we can give to Royal to support this cause.
Well, we have two main initiatives, which I've talked about extensively, which is a cognitive stimulation therapy. So you can donate to that initiative. You can also donate to Toys for Alzheimer's, which is an initiative we started a couple of years ago, which helps with aggression, agitation, and persons who are socially isolated, persons who cannot get to the daycare. Then we have things where we have robotic pets,
Okay.
the dogs and the doll babies
Okay.
that they can actually use as companions
Wow.
at home. And we have people all over the world now who are tapping into Toys for Alzheimer's.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So people can donate to both of those initiatives by going to royaladultday.com /donate, royaladultday.com
Okay.
/donate to give to those initiatives.
And no donation is too small or
No,
too
you
big.
can give any amount. Any
Okay.
amount that you give will be useful. The other thing that we are looking to do in the future is to provide scholarships for persons who cannot afford to attend Royal.
Oh, wow.
So anything that you give, like Sherry was saying, we are a nonprofit. We have been for 7 years. It's a tax write-off for you. So we hope that you will participate in giving.
That's awesome. So let me just say this, like, because this is a disease that affects so many and it will hit you out of nowhere. Take it from me, I know. Like I said before, I wish it was something that my family had that support of, for somewhere to go, for my mom to go, to take that extra pressure off of us a little bit where we could breathe. Because, like, we clearly did not know. I remember my mama jumped on me like I was somebody in the streets one day. And I can laugh about it now, but I was so distraught. It just like threw me. I did not know what to do. And when you go through those different things and they become a person you really don't even
Right,
know, because
right.
so you don't know how to reel them back and you can't reel them back. But when you have a program like Royal that is able to help you and help the caregiver, the family members learn how to support during this process and help the person who's living with that
Yes.
disease, why not be a support? Be a blessing. I challenge people, anybody that's watching this, whether you're watching it real time, whether you're watching it 6 months from now, I challenge you to make a donation because it's going to help Royal help the
Yes.
next family.
Yes.
It was my family one day. It was her family one day. It may be your family today. We never know. So I challenge you, and then you said that was Royal Adult Day.
royaladultday.com /donate. And you can also call us at 770-465-4700. 770-465-4700.
All right. Thank you for that. Y'all, this has been good. This has been good. We talk about it all the time, the different things we went through. how so similar, and we didn't even know each other during the time that we both were experiencing that, and so it just has such a special place in my heart, special place in Mama
Yes.
Landa's heart for this, and I just encourage you, I challenge you again, make a donation towards Royal. Tell somebody if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area and you know somebody that needs the support of Royal, even if they can't come but once a week, if it will give that caregiver a break,
Yes.
tell them about Royal Adult Day Services. It will be a blessing to you, your family, and that person that is dealing with that. So, again, Mama Landa, I thank you for sharing with us today. You gave us some knowledge today that I'm sure a lot of people didn't know. So, this was good. So, we thank you for being a guest here with Keeping Up with Henry and
Thank you for
Sherry.
asking me.
Oh, you're so welcome. So, again, y'all, this is going to conclude our episode today. If you have not subscribed, hit the button, okay? All right, until we meet again.